Okay, now so let's get started with this UUSD backtesting and top-down analysis. I hope you guys find it easy for you because I've also tried to find it easy for myself. So guys, let's check out what I've been doing before. So now if you look at what's currently happening right now in the market, the first thing that you should notice is that let me delete all this one first, is that we all need to understand that the market is the market direction is the major point of whatever we are doing. This analysis I'm going to be doing right now is not a current analysis. Please, you guys should take note of that. It's not the current analysis. It's a kind of analysis that it deals with backtesting. See again, and this is 2024. Backtesting on 2024 is not backtesting on 2025. So don't use this setup or this kind of analysis to go and take the current market that you are thinking of going to trade on. We are going to also talk about the current market, our prediction and our expectation about what we should be forecasting on that. We can do that privately or differently, but this one is a different kind of set of this thing. This one is backtesting. You get just for us to have knowledge about how the market works. You get, in terms of the long term, not the short term, because some people like to make fast money in this market. So what we first of us do when we come to top down analysis that I'm going to be using here is that we're going to first of all go to our our weekly time frame, right? Because there is no how you want to do top down analysis that you are not going to go to your weekly time frame to do it. It's not even possible. Shey you get. But everybody have their strategy, everybody have their ways. I just want to just show you how I used to do mine and how you too can also do the same thing. You get what I'm saying? So now the first thing that I used to do when I first of all get to the chart is that I go to the weekly time frame and I first of all spot the recent movements in the market, right? And the recent movement in the market deals in different kind of phases and different kind of parts. So I'll be using my hands so you guys can really understand what I'm trying to say in terms of phases, right? So if you look at it from here, right, to this place here is a face on its own, right? And if you look at it again from here to this place here is another face on its own. That's a different face entirely, right? This is the weekly time frame. For you to understand the trend of the market, you have to go with your weekly time frame, because it's on your weekly time frame you can say that okay fine, this market is buying, or you can say this market is bullish or this market is bearish, right? So if you look at the weekly time frame very well, you will understand that currently right now we are taking our analysis from this zone here, right? Before its market now find its way to come down to this very zone here. What I'm trying to derive here is that the market is going to move by the weekly time frame. But you know, sometimes you have to first of all figure out how do you want to get in the market and how do you want to exit the market. How can you get a setup from it, and what are the ways that we can use to get an entry, because we cannot enter on the weekly time frame. So therefore let's now go to our daily time frame. Now that we have known the trend, that is the trend is a what is a bullish market on the weekly time frame, right? So I used to use the daily time frame to, like, let me just say, to see like a clear view or a clear analysis of what I'm trying to do. So now that we know that on the weekly time frame is giving us a bullish momentum. So now I've used this first one to identify that okay, this market is going to be bullish, right? But now this is the beginning, this is the end of that movement of that market. Currently movement, this is the beginning and this is the end. But now we want to now say okay fine, this market have to make a pullback to a particular zone for it to continue its trend, right? So now what I will do next is that on this same zone I'll have to just be patient enough and wait for the market to come back to this zone where my pullback is on the weekly time frame. so I can continue my buy, my buy movement. But unfortunately, if you notice that the market has been consolidating this zone, market has been consolidating what this zone for some while. So I was like, okay, market has been consolidating this zone. I'm going to just now go to my 4-hour time frame and see, okay, what is the market even saying on my 4-hour time frame. I hope you guys are following. According to our entry, you will discover that what the market is supposed to give us a bullish momentum, not a bearish momentum. But in a scenario whereby the market have already come to make a retest on the weekly time frame, but eventually what give us a breakout of our support level for it to continue to go on our direction. That's a retest level, right? The market have failed to respect that level. So it's also a sign that is telling that the market is going to be changing its direction. The market is going to be changing its direction. So now let's take a quick example of what we're trying to see here. If you look at the 4-hour time frame, right, you will discover that the market have changed its direction on this particular place here, right, on this particular zone here. If you look at it very well, this thing is not showing well. Look at it very well, you discover that there's a double top at this particular zone. Here, right, you can see there's a double top at this particular zone here. So in this kind of essence here, we are going to wait for the market to come back. Like now, this is the first level, right? This is another level here. These two levels that you can see here is an indicator for me that tell me that this market is going to change its direction for a short sell. Means that the market is not going to be respecting the retest level that is showing us on the 1-hour time frame, on the weekly time frame, or on the daily time frame. What we are going to be seeing is that the market is going to be dropping from that zone. So whatever makes the market break below that support level, it have given us an indication that it is going to be going for a short sell. But you have to notice, for every support level that is broken, there must be a retest level to confirm that the breakout is a legit. You don't just enter the market based on the fact that it have broken. You enter the market based on the fact that a breakout and a confirmation that's a retest that it have broken. Not on the lower time frame, but on the higher time frame. And the higher time frame I'm talking about is the 4-hour, the daily, and the weekly. Another confirmation again that this market is going to be going short for some while is that there is going to be mostly times, and what I even love so much is the chart pattern. You cannot actually deny the chart pattern. The chart pattern is like number one thing that I used to even make sure that it's even there, because it's giving me this sense of pureness that this market is going to be dropping. So according to my rules, you don't just enter based on the fact that the market wants to start dropping on this very zone. What you do, don't enter on this very zone here. What you do is that you wait for the market to pull back to this zone here, then drop. That way you can find your entry. Do you understand? That way you can find your entry. So now let's find a way. Now that I've known that we're going to be going short on the market, let's now see where and how we can go short on this market, and where exactly will the market get to before it change its direction from a sell back to its buy. Because we know that the majority, like I said, the major trend is a buy. On this kind of analysis here is a buy. No matter what you are doing, is a buy based on this analysis, right? So now let's see a way that we can get in to the market. Let's first of all start with the sell. So now that we have gotten our sell opportunity, we know that the market is going to be selling. We're going to pause and say, okay, fine. How can we now get in? What are we going to? How can we get in? How are we going to see our entry? That's where we are going to be using the word, the chart pattern. I hope you guys are following. If you don't understand, just type you don't understand. There's no need. In my next episode, I will make sure that I make more explanation and more clarity about what I'm doing. But it does not matter. Let's see if let's go to the 1 hour time frame and see how we can use our 4 hour time frame to get a good entry on the 1 hour time frame. But now that we know the trend of the market, you can just put this as your indicator. You are going short on this market. You wait for the market to come back to this level, give us a retest. So now that we got a retest, what's the next thing for us to do? Now that we have this zone, particular zone here, alright. So now we're going to just take in like just 1 or 2 entries, and we call it a day from here. It's just a short video that just talked about how we use the higher time frame to get movement from the lower time frame movement. So you go to your 1 hour time frame using your Fibonacci. On this 1 hour time frame, I'm going to be talking more about how we enter the trade using price action. And when I talk about price action, I'm talking about the chart pattern, right? And the chart pattern I'm looking for here is just a double top, an head and shoulder. You get what I'm saying? Trend line breakout. Those are what I'm going to be talking about here. Fibonacci. So now when we get to the what? Let me. And you also have to notice that stop loss is not the end of your life. If you hit stop loss, back on the game. I remember what this guy said. This guy would say, get back on the game. If you hit stop loss, go back on the game. Continue. So now if you notice that this was where I put my my sign, or should I say this pink logo, indicating to you that we want to now come to the 1 hour time frame to see, okay, now that there is a retest, where can we get in? And we know that there is a rule that you have to follow your chart pattern. I'm a chart pattern trader. I'm not SMC and I'm not ICT, right? So now if you look at this zone very well, you will discover that there is a chart pattern in this place. Let me zoom this in so you can see it clearly. There's a chart pattern here, right? Indicating that you can go on your short sell. But before we can finalize this, we have to first of all give ourselves a confirmation. And what's the last confirmation? The last confirmation is talking about our risk management first. Now we are going for a short sell. I used to advise people that you have to make sure you wait for the breakout first. This is 22 pips, right? And you must give your trade at least a little bit of a little bit of breathing space. This is an head and shoulder. You guys should take note. This is an head and shoulder pattern on the 1 hour time frame. The time frame is very important. It's very, very important. This is a 1 hour time frame. Let me even draw what I'm trying to see here. Now if you see that the market came here, it came down here back, it went all the way up here to give us a retest that we are waiting for. It came down here and we came back to this place here, and it drops. Immediately it's dropping, use your sell stop, then you cash your trade. Clean trade. You get. So what's your weeks to reward? My own weeks to reward is 3 to 1, right? See, there's something about being patient with the chart, and sometimes it will play out, sometimes it wouldn't play out, you get. But the fact that you are just disciplined and you are patient enough, I promise you it's going to play out, right? So now look at this trade. Now let's see, right? Let me show you. So this was our breakout. This was our breakout here. Well, in our next video, I will tell you guys how you can spot different kind of breakouts when it comes to chart pattern, right? But for now, let's just stay with this. This is it here. This is it here, right? So you can see that this is a 3-to-1 setup. This is a back testing. I repeat, back testing. This is not a real, live trading. This is a back testing trading, just to show you guys how you can use the higher time frame to execute your market on the lower time frame and get a good setup, right? It's not a chart that deals with normal life, because you have to back test. And I used to say something to my own self personal, that I know I'm not perfect, right? I'm just new to the game and I'm just understanding the game, and I also know the game. It's just for us to understand that what backtesting is 20%, right? Backtesting is 20%. Psychology itself is 20%. But the main 60% to make it complete 100% is your live execution, right? You can backtest right, you can do everything right, but you see that live execution itself is where the problem is to come from, right? So I think we should all learn from that, and we should all go from that. She get. So this is it, and this is it. So you have to just notice that what if you are using 1 hour time frame to trade, your take profit, or your TP might not be it on a in a day. It may take like 2 or 3 days before it hits. I'm not saying you are a swing trader. For me, I don't even classify myself as a swing trader, because there's a way I do my trading that makes me take my normal profits in a normal way. So you can see this is just 22p stop loss. Is not so much, it's okay, right? And we take our profit on that. I'll be stopping here for today, and in our next video I'll be talking more about this same top-down analysis on either a different currency pair or this same currency pair on a different level, bringing different opinion. I'll be sharing more perfect ways to deal with a break of a support level, you get, on a higher time frame, and more of this. It's a 6 months challenge, and it's 6 months from now to December. So I'll be doing more of it, and you guys can also learn one.